Hi, my name is Angela Tierney. I did my book review over Crucial Confrontations, Tools for Talking About Broken Promises, Violated Expectations, and Bad Behavior. My book had four different authors, the first one being Carrie Patterson. Carrie Patterson was a teacher at Brigham Young University's Marriott School of Management. Um, he also co-founded an Interact Performance System, and he also wrote four New York Times bestsellers, including Change Anything, Crucial Conversations, Crucial Confrontations, which is what I'm discussing, and Influencer. He also completed doctoral work at Stanford University, and he won the Mentor of the Year Award in 2004, the William G. Dyer Distinguished Alumni Award. My second author was Joseph Grenny. He's known as a social scientist of business performance. He is also a best-selling author in the New York Times, and he conducted social science research to help leaders and organizations to achieve new levels of performance, as well as focusing on human behavior, on and the written and unwritten rules that shape what employees do every day. So he's almost like a behaviorist. And Ron McMillan was the third author. He actually specialized in helping union and first level managers, CEOs, and corporate executives become measurably more vital and advise them on topics including team development, personal vitality, quality communications, and results oriented leadership. He's researched methods for changing behaviors, which is driving rapid, sustainable, and measurable change. He's also known as a subject matter expert in interpersonal relationships, culture change, and workplace issues. He is featured on NPR, Inc. magazine, as well as the New York Times. And he also co-founded the Kobe Leadership Center and developed training programs. And last but not least, Al Switzler is the last author. He served at faculty on several universities, including University of Michigan, University of Kentucky, Auburn University. He's former president of two consulting firms, which he was the director of training and management development. And he also was named Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year in 2007, along with his other co-authors. And he's also a leader in corporate training and organizational development. And he's also addressed impressive clientele such as AT&T, Xerox, Philips, IBM, Sprint, Ford Motor Company, and he's known for his entertaining yet inspirational conferences. The purpose of Crucial Confrontation to me was teaching people, individuals, how to achieve personal, team, and organizational success by healing broken promises and resolving violated expectations. Within the organizations, there are individuals that are unwilling or unable to deal with failed promises. So this is teaching leadership management how to deal with that, how to come to this person and confront what is going on. The audience for Crucial Confrontations, I felt, was executive leaders, management, supervisors, individuals within the organizations, meaning your frontline staff, your nurses, anybody that's working on the floor underneath management. Could also be family members. It could be parents. It could be children. It could be aunts, uncles. It could be grandparents. The strengths and shortcomings of Crucial Conversations, I felt there were many strengths. I felt that it gave a step-by-step outline. It gave information on how to handle specific items. Within the step-by-steps, it gave what-ifs on how to handle certain things. They gave strategies that have actually been in use with these authors being in business for long. They know that these strategies for confrontation actually work. They also gave self-assessments at the end on measuring what your level of confrontation is, as well as questions that could be used in book groups. Like if you're in meetings with leaders, something that could be used to kind of discuss back and forth on. Shortcomings, what I really felt could have been handled better were the case studies at the end of the book. There were no answers. There was no layout on how to properly management. So even if you answered the case study, you weren't sure if you handled it correctly or not. And I felt that the book was also geared towards people that were already problem solvers, people that were already confident in confronting people. Like myself, I'm not very confident in going and doing confrontation. And so for me to read this book, I'm like, oh, I kind of need to build on that. I need to look at that. While somebody else, somebody that was already established in leadership, could read this book and go, okay, this is a great idea. Let me go do it. Did the authors achieve their goal? I feel that they did achieve their goal in presenting this material. Um, it teaches political correctness, which is big in business today. You have to be careful with what you say. You have to present it properly. You have to have the background information. It's very good at teaching accountability, which is also something that needs to be brought up today. With the accountability, it teaches you how to create safety. When you're creating safety, you're bringing in trust. You're bringing in that accountability, whether it's between the leader that needs to bring the accountability or the worker that needs to bring the accountability. I felt that the book was easy to read, which is important, because if you want people to read and learn from this, you need to make it easy because, hey, we're all in the work field here. We're busy. We got things to do. And it also gave the what if examples, which I discussed earlier. You know, when you're looking over a situation, there's always going to be those what ifs. And I felt that they did a really good job about going over those. So if you did confront those while you were doing your confrontation meeting, you wouldn't be as surprised. You could have worked over that before you came in. And as far as would I recommend this to anybody, I definitely would. I think it's an important piece of literature for management. I think it would be good for leadership, whether new or established. New, it kind of gives them a base to build on. Established, it can kind of give them some new tools in the toolbox. You know, if they're not so politically correct, if they're a little rough around the edges, this might be something that they could use for the new millennial workers, kind of geared towards them on the not so comfy coddle, but you know, kind of let's go in here and talk, and I want to have a nice discussion with you, and I want to give you an environment of safety, and I want you to feel that I'm accountable to you, and I want you to be accountable to me. I also feel like it's good for work situations. I feel like it's good for home situations, for family. And I would also recommend it to friends and family, just anybody that's needing help on maybe speaking up for themselves. If I see somebody that's being walked on at work, I might say, hey, you know, you might want to read about this because you might feel a little bit more encouraged to stand up for yourself. Overall, I felt that this was a good read. I actually would like to get the other book that the authors wrote on crucial conversations. And I felt that this was a good assignment and I learned a lot. Thank you.